Hello, I'm Michael Roting from cloud-client.info, and I would like to introduce you our IGEL Universal Management Suite Appliance built on Ubuntu Linux 14.04. Okay, first of all, you can download it for free from www.cloud-client.info. Just go here on Downloads, UMS Virtual Appliance for Microsoft Hyper-V. You will receive some information here, current version, release date. Important here are the currently used users, including the passwords, so this will be needed. And just click here on the download button. You will then download a small archive, just extract this archive, import the VM into the Hyper-V and start the VM. I have already done this, so I'm already logged in to the UMS appliance. As you can see, you have an UMS console available and UMS administrator. The UMS console is already started, so I can log in here. Password is always IGEL, and I can now perform here my thin client configuration. Quite simple, similar with the UMS administrator. You have the UMS administrator available. This is the main configuration tool for the management server itself. So here you can configure all the ports, you can create snapshots, file sources, or create a backup here, or restore a backup. The UMS Virtual Appliance, the UMS version used here, it's the Linux-based version, but you can use a Windows backup on the Linux. You can use the Linux backup on a Windows system, so you can mix it. For example, for test usage, you can use our virtual appliance, and then when you set up a production server, you can use the backup from the Linux appliance and import this, restore this on your production server. Okay, but this is not all. You will receive some more information here, like the used host name, IP address, some information about the resource usage. You have also some white papers from us here available. You have a small folder here with an UMS template. It's similar to the UMS template, which can be downloaded also on our website. So it comes with a bunch of sample profiles, configurations for your clients. You have also some other apps available here. For example, you have a small paint program to work with screenshots. You have internet tools available like an SSH client, FTP client. You can also enable from here an X11 VNC server. It's just in regular VNC server, so you can use VNC to also open a connection to this appliance. But we recommend to use RDP. I will log out here and we'll close the Hyper-V console. I have already opened the remote desktop connection client for Microsoft, and I enter the current used host name of the appliance here, and I can now click on connect. You will get then a login mask. Just log in here with IGEL. So, and then you will get the same desktop like shown in the Hyper-V console. You have regular RDP access. Of course, functionality is limited here. So, for example, you cannot use USB memories. You cannot redirect USB memories to this appliance. But for example, copy and paste is working now. This was not working in older appliance versions, but since now it's also working here. So it's quite simple to connect to this Linux appliance. When you work a little bit with this appliance, you will see that the difference to the Windows-based version is not so great, but of course it's much simpler to set up, and it's easy to use for test. If you want to test the UMS, or if you want to save a Windows server license or something like that, so then this appliance is really helpful. We also have enabled SSH access. In older versions we got Telnet used as remote protocol to connect to. Since now we have updated this to SSH, so Telnet is removed, SSH can now be used. Just use PuTTY here. For example, this is a free available SSH client, and click on open. You will then get a command line to this appliance, and I log in here with IGEL and IGEL. And then you are on the Linux command shell. You can also see this here in the RDP connection, that now a new connection is set up coming through SSH. So I release this connection. Also, there's an inbuilt FTP server. This FTP server can be used to deploy firmware updates or files like backgrounds or the Flash player or whatever to the clients. So just open an FTP client or use a Windows Explorer and type in the host name. Oh, I forgot something. Yeah, that's right. So I connect now with the Windows Explorer. I will be also asked for the login. It's IGEL again, and log on. And you will now come to the home directory of the user IGEL. So you can create new folders here, like firmware updates or whatever. If you click here on home, you will see the same folders. So when I create a new folder here, and I name it IGEL updates, and enter. And when I now in the Explorer press F5 for refresh, you see the folder is also available here. So you can point the clients to the UMS appliance host name, and then just the folder name you have created here, and you can move all these firmware update files, Flash player files, background files, certificates or whatever into this folder to deploy it to the client. So the use is quite simple. Of course, you can also add software to it. You have different tools here available, like the Synaptic Package Manager, Software Updater, or Ubuntu Software Center if you want to deploy other Linux applications to this appliance. You have also an Office available. It's a LibreOffice, so if you want to create a documentation or similar, you can also do this into this appliance. So it's quite easy to handle, and if you want to test the UMS, I just recommend to try out this appliance. As said, it's completely for free. The STEM requirements are very low. It's Linux based, so you need only 2 GB of RAM and maximum 20 GB hard disk space to run this appliance. Currently the appliance uses 8 GB, but if you deploy software, deploy firmware updates through this appliance, of course the used disk space will increase. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for your attention, and I wish you a lot of fun with the UMS appliance. Bye.